As I've been seeing some Halloween decor enter stores and going viral online and basically everywhere that isn't around me, I wanted to see how I could make basically any of them for less. Starting with the ghost pumpkin, I actually saw this last year, but they are making a resurgence. Starting off with some of the worst air dry clay I have ever used and rolling that out into an oblong shape, being sure it's thin enough that it won't take days to dry, but thick enough that it won't break too badly. Using a foam pumpkin that I picked up from my local dollar store last year. They haven't started coming out with Halloween stuff just yet at my dollar store. Note the bitterness in my voice. And removing the stem, which was super easy. And then putting the clay slab onto it and cutting off the excess with scissors, as well as cutting the top part away so I could actually put the stem back in. I manipulated the ends a little bit, pulling and further cutting them down, as well as smoothing the clay as I went with glue and some water. Shaping the clay into the curvatures of the pumpkin. Finally shaping out the rest of the eyes with my pointer finger and also adding a mouth, but decided real quick I didn't like the look of it, so I undid that action. Waiting for that to dry down, and although I didn't film the first part of the painting process for whatever reason, or I lost a clip to it, I did an overall coat of white on the clay, and I did, I think, 2 or 3 coats to this just to make sure it was as opaque as I wanted it to be. Then for the eyes, a simple black. And as I do with all of my creations, I added a coat of resin to the piece. 1, because I like the shine it gives, and 2, because it makes it a lot more stable, especially because this clay is absolutely not stable at all by itself. Next up, we have this self-care jack-o'-lantern that I saw online. It was from Home Goods, like Home Goods sells it, but there's not a Home Goods that exists in Canada at all. So we have HomeSense, which doesn't have nearly the amount of stuff. So I wanted to try my hand at that. I did the first few steps of the pumpkin the same as removing the stem and then taking the tag off, but this time I put the stem back on and then started planning the face just with a pencil. I preemptively made the cucumber eyes by grabbing a small styrofoam ball and first cutting it in half with a knife. Realizing quite quickly again that would continue to be way too messy, so I stopped, I ventilated my area, and I grabbed my respirator and then brought out my foam cutter and cut the piece further down into semi-similar looking pieces. To make these as lightweight as possible, I used foam clay to shape around the one complete side of it and then wrap around the edges, leaving a little bit extra, which you'll see the reason for in just a moment. Then I used various tools to add texture, divots to the side, which is why I needed that extra. And then lines all around the inner edges, as well as squiggly lines just inside of those inner edges. Then finally, taking a small drill bit, not for its intended use obviously, because who am I if not that person, I started basically clawing at the inside of the squiggles to kind of just rough it up a little bit. And then when those were dry down to the touch, I used a very light yellow and a dry brush over top of the center portion. Oops. As well as a very dark forest green around the perimeter. While that paint dried, it was time to move on to the pumpkin, which includes moving back to the terrible air dry clay, which I rolled out from a ball to an oblong shape once again, and then cut it down to the appropriate size that I had mapped out. Using a glue and water mix once again to smooth it onto the curves of the pumpkin. While the clay was still wet but not tacky, I used tweezers to cut out the face. I realized that I could not see the original face that I'd mapped out, but was hoping to match it up. It wasn't perfect, but I would fix that later. I made the smile and then placed the eyes where I wanted them to go and kind of pushed them into the clay a little bit, and then followed that up with the nose right after, though I did not leave the clay eyes on there, but rather put a coat of resin on them as I let the face dry. As you can now see the face dry, it has done the normal amount of cracking that it would, and now I'm going to be painting it. However, if you happen to not be using this garbage clay, you could probably just leave the eyes on, but I knew my clay would be cracking, so I also knew I would need to paint over it. My chosen color was a custom one, mostly white, but a little bit of an off-white called Eggnog, as well as fixing up the nose and the mouth with a matching orange, appropriately called Pure Pumpkin. Once that was all done, I'm using some resin and putting a layer over the clay and the pumpkin. The original product that I saw also had like a towel on the head, kind of. And you could easily use this or do this with like a spray foam. I've decided not to, but I may end up doing it in the next like couple of weeks. I'm not sure yet. Kind of using it as an adhesive to hold the cucumber eyes in place. But finally we get to the wall art. Originally, Michael's Craft Store came out with this ghost painting, which is a fair size for a painting. However, $90 freaking. Absolutely not. And the internet agreed, so many people started making it themselves using spackle from the dollar store, paint also from the dollar store, and either frames also from the dollar store or secondhand, all for probably under $5 or $10. Then it went further, with people making tombstones, jack-o'-lanterns, and pumpkins, oh my. And if you know anything about me and my art, you may know that I love me some texture. So textured wall art is a must, and I'm all about the spooky vibes, so this was kind of inevitable. Starting off with the medium frames from the dollar store, these were $3.50 each. You can definitely thrift them probably for less, or just get regular canvases. I just wanted them to have the border to them. I unwrapped them and removed the backing, only to realize that they were actually picture frames, which if I had read it I would have known, but here we are. So I removed the glass as well as used the photos that were in them for the actual paintings. The first I added just black to it. When the paint was dry on these, I also placed them back in and then used a slim permanent marker to kind of show me the perimeter of where the texture would need to stop, and then place it back in correctly. Next up was green. A little hidden message for you guys. The green one did get a second coat. But lastly, I did another black one. Before the black was dry, I added white onto a smaller brush and went back and forth, like from left to right, right to left, with some light strokes to create kind of like a spooky night background. Onto the actual texture though, you can buy these tubs of lightweight spackle from the dollar store, but I already had a tub on hand, so I used that instead, and then mixed it with different colors of acrylic paint. The first one being black, the second one being a light and dark brown. The trick here that I used is that I didn't mix it fully in with the spackle, so it wasn't one solid color. The black was a little bit of black, a little bit of white, a little bit of gray, and the browns were different shades as well, which I mixed even further together by using some of the black mix and some of the brown mix. I used a palette knife and a scoop of some of each, or just the one, and placed it down onto the canvas. Starting out with the top, or like the back first, and working my way down. Before it dried, I also used a mechanical pencil to write in them, but I realized quite quickly that this would be easier when they were a little bit more dried down. However, I just wrote things like RIP, some fake writing, 1408, as well as a couple other little spooky references. Some crosses and such, if you will. As well as adding cracks along some of the sides of the tombstones as if they were breaking down. And breaking them down further than that. To add more, as if it needed that, I used a mix of 2 greens and a brown to add a little bit of grass, moss, and maybe perhaps some vines growing along the stones. For the green canvas, I used the lightweight spackle and multiple oranges, changing colors along the way so none of the pumpkins would be the same. A pure pumpkin to start, and then I would add black to dull it down, yellows and browns. Then I used a different palette knife and added more spackle to it as well so they'd be thicker as I pressed them down. As I went along, I also removed some of these sides and bottoms so they'd stay within the border I set for myself. I gave them a few minutes to dry a bit and then added some stems to them with the spackle that I had left over from the pumpkins with more brown in it. Finally, as I did with the tombstones, I added a little bit more visual interest. I used a black fabric puffy paint to add little fasciage, to pay homage to some characters and some easy jack-o'-lantern designs. I even used a needle tip to branch out one of the eyes and give it little eyelashes. I did leave some blank though. Finally, the one that started it all, the ghosts. At first, I had just wanted to make this one simpler, no real color, just the white ghost with the black faces, but I also did add two to the top, like flying across each other. Then I did a little bit more, let's say, research online and saw some people talking about how cool it would be if they actually glowed in the dark as well. And I had some different types of glow in the dark paint. One washable, but it also was a little bit like green in color even when it dried down, and a fabric paint that was white. I tested them both out. See which one turns out better. My votes are already on this guy. I was right. I ended up going with the fabric paint. Used a very light brush to coat each one in a thin layer of this paint and then waited for that to fully dry. Then finally came in with the black puffy fabric paint to create those little eyes. Most looking at you from straight on, and some at an angle, and some were a little bit like funkier to the eye, you know? But that is it for today's video. I do hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.